Well, here's a scale train's rivet counter SD9, or more specifically the SD9M Norfolk Southern. This is 54, number 54, and I'm just having a quick look, see what these things are all about. And one thing I like about today's models is how good the paint job looks. I mean, you look at these things here and they're so nice. I mean, the horse it's nice and fat, like it's big. It's not anemic. It doesn't look like it's been on a diet forever. The black stripes in between the white look nice. Everything looks good. The pilot, really nice the way the pilot looks with those safety stripes. I did an SD9 years and years ago with a Rail Power Products shell and a Lifelike Pro 2000 chassis, and I had to grind the chassis down, get it to work so it was the right height when the body went on the chassis. And then when it came time to painting it and deckling it, I used shell scale decals. There was a time you would buy these like a blue box, get in, be Norfolk Southern, you'd be repainting it over and redecaling it Norfolk Southern with, say, shell scale decals. Just because it would look so much better decaling it than what the paint jobs were back in the day, but they're a lot better now. And this particular pilot, these pilots with the stripes on their switchers, Norfolk Southern switchers, were really a challenge because the decal would have to go over all the detail underneath and it would bubble up. You'd have to get a pin, prick it, and you'd have to use, the only thing that really worked well to really get them to set down on the detail was either Champ Decal, if you could find it, Champ Decal set, or their solution, or Wather's Decal solutions. They're the only one strong enough, but it looks pretty sharp out of the box here. That's the front, and the horse is centered perfectly on it. And you look at here and you see the NS logo. It's a nice slant. The NS is on the perfect slant. I've always modeled NS, so that's just a railroad that I know well. I've deckled so many of them. And you can see the paint, so the decals would be hard to get over these vents here. I don't know if you can see on the camera, but there's the 3 vents, the louvers, and the paint just goes over them beautifully. And I'd probably weather that a little bit because it's always dirty. But you can really see how crisp I'm going to go the right way here. How crisp the detail is on this thing for the paint job there. And, now it's out of focus here. But, no, it looks really good. There we go. And they just did such a great job with today's engine's so much better with the paint jobs. All the different warning messages. You can see here it's pretty sharp looking there, and pilot looks good there as well. I'm not going to get too in depth with this review, but you can see the hoses, your MU cables, they're all nicely done. The rusted looking coupler, the white on the you have the white here on the, it's not an anti-climber, but so you can go from one unit to the next, and it just looked pretty good. This is the first time seeing it myself. I just pulled it out. And yeah, they did a pretty good job. We'll look at more detail here shortly, but just kind of looking at it all the way around here. We got the one antenna for your SBU from the IDU, the horn, 5-chime horn there that Norfolk was. These were old nickel plate. A lot of these were nickel plate road SD9s that they reused, repurposed, put new electronics in them. Updated that and rebuilt the prime mover, and I think there's a few Southern ones around too, but I don't know what that number series is. But most of these were old nickel plates. You can find all this. You probably, guys, if you're looking at this, you probably already know this stuff anyway. But let's zoom in on some more of the detail here. Hopefully it stays in focus. Yeah, it looks pretty good there. Or that bell. I wanted these 2 engines because of the bell being on the nose, on the short hood. The other ones have them on the tank. The other ones that scale trains did, they're on the tank. I always like the ones that look like they're old. Remind you of the old ones with the bell on the front like that. I guess that's technically the back. It's a Norfolk Southern, so it's long hood forward. But no, actually it is. They've changed them to short hood forward. You can see the F on there for the front there. But yep, I'm going to take the camera off this tripod here, and we'll have a look at a little bit closer at the unit itself there. the hoses underneath, and just the overall look of the engine here. Here's a better shot. It's a little bit more jittery here now because I'm holding it, but here's a better view of your top. The top view. No dynamic brakes on these, and naturally aspired. No turbocharger on these things. And you can see here, that's pretty good detail. Shell Scale's got that, or not Shell Scale, Scale Trains has these the trucks. They look pretty sharp. The wheels are that rusted look. I don't know. I like that, but some of you might not like that. Everything looks new except the wheels. But it doesn't take much to rust them out once they get put into service. But yeah, you can see overall it's a attractive outfit there, I think. And all your brake lines, your air lines, triple clasp the brakes. Trunk detail, like I said, this is just a quick look. Just a quick look at it here. I don't know if this camera can zoom in too well in there, but wipers look really good. I didn't see anything missing. That fuel tank breather that they have. Yeah, just overall nice looking engine there. Have a look at the front of the back of it. I guess the back here. Yeah, they sure have come a long way. Have a look at this side, see if there's any problems. Everything looks to be intact here, but sometimes you don't know until after. Fine parts missing. But, yeah, it looks pretty good. The reservoir tanks there. Yeah, anyway, so that's pretty much a kind of a quick look at it there. You got the all-weather window here on the engineer side. That N&W had, and yeah, the yellow looks really good. Jesus, I'm almost ashamed to have to weather this. Looks pretty good. You hate taking a model like this and weathering it sometimes, but it's more accurate to weather it there. I don't know what side of the fence you guys are on, if you're into weathering or not, but I don't mind it. You know, limited amounts. I don't want to do it too heavy, but that's it anyway, folks. That's 54. Very basic review here. It's not really a review, I'm just kind of looking it over with you guys. So yeah, let me know what you think in the comments. And that next one here, I just got a little test track here. We'll see how these things sound. We'll have both of them going here. Well, here it is on the test track. The 54 is on the test track. We'll do a quick listen and see what this thing and hear what it sounds like. So we'll start with the headlights and the ditch lights, and we'll give it a start up here and see what it sounds like here. Well, that sounds pretty good, that naturally aspired prime mover there. Nice and loud. Really like the Scale Trains always does a good job with their speakers. Loud. Let's listen to let's hear the bell here. Yep, the old pneumatic bells. I like the old pneumatic bells. We work for the railroad here, and it's all digital sounding bells. It's not the same sound as that actual bell. And here's a horn. Let's see which 5-chime horn. Yeah, it's pretty loud there. It's pretty nice, and it's got the oscillating ditch lights, of course, set in. It's had there. Probably other railroads too. And let's see what it shows here. So handbrake's 3. You can hear the old ratchet handbrake, and yeah, then now it's just a push button. We're pretty lazy here. All we do is press a button. We don't even have safety. We don't want people getting hurt, I guess. They use the air compressor sound. We've heard the down spray there for getting the moisture out. Now the compressor's starting up, so that sounds good. Shuts off there, and I only have the Digitrax. It goes up to 8, just 8 functions here, but that's all I'm going to use. That's all I mostly use. So F6 is a Mars light. But we don't have a Mars light. The old nickel plates before N&W took them over had them. They had Mars lights, so these don't now. Even class lights F5 that's been plated over. They don't use those no more. F4 is dynamic. Well, they don't use dynamic brakes. It didn't come with dynamic, so. And Now let's see if we can move this thing here and see what it sounds like here. That's the drive here, that sounds pretty good. Revs up nice, that sounds really nice. Pretty loud there, that's for sure. Throttle it right down. And take the handbrake off, because that's probably what's on here. Handbrake's F3. Alright, let's see if we can move this thing here. There it goes. This is a remote here and the camera up there. That's good. That's zoomed out as far as it'll go. Let's back up so you can see it better here. Oops, safety. I don't want the train master getting us in trouble here. I'll put this on a suspended train table that I'm working on when I get home. I'm at the bunkhouse right now. I work for the railroad, like I say, so I'm in the very far end of the bunkhouse just so I could do this review so I don't disturb anybody sleeping. I don't think they'd appreciate getting woke up to this. We work doing this all the time, but there's a few foamers around here. Alright, that's a pretty good look at it, just a basic look. And once I get home, we will have a look at the two of them together on the suspended train table I'm working on. Something I just do in the winter for the most part there. But anyway, I'll put this video all together once I get the suspended train table parts done. And thanks again here for giving me your time. Okay, so that's pretty much the review, or a quick look at these two engines. As you can tell by the bunkhouse review, or a look at it in the bunkhouse, these things are pretty noisy. You couldn't even hear what I was saying when it was running, but that doesn't really matter. What matters is that you guys see these things in action, make a judgment. These things are limited edition. You know, who knows if they'll make them again. I think on the Scale Trains website there's less than 24 available DCC sound and DC. So you should buy them if you're gonna. Things are so expensive now that I hope this review helps you make a decision. One last thing I want to note: I didn't see any ground lights. Like I just came in this room, and the only lights that I seen was the ditch lights, the headlights. Didn't see any inside lights or ground lights like what you have on maybe the Rapido ones, which is fine with me. So unless maybe it's a different function that I didn't see, maybe you guys don't know. But one thing I wanted to note was was talking about how nothing was missing there at that bunkhouse in the bunkhouse review. Well, when I was putting 54 away, the case, the plastic just barely grazed the radiator section of the back of 54, and that the photo etched louvers fell off. There's 4 of them, and 2 of them, the 2 fell off there. So I'll just use some CA glue, put it on there. I'll probably just run some light thin CA glue around some of the other ones, make sure they don't fall off. I don't know, maybe shorter glue at the sweatshop or whatever in China there, trying to save money, but not a big deal. We can put that back together on there. And the only thing with CA, you just gotta watch it that you don't get too much. It runs and then it dries white. I mean, unless you're gonna weather them. But hopefully this helped you guys. Very nice engines, very good sound, and thanks for watching.